Thanks so much. Well, according to the Economist House Price Index, America's formerly stricken market has rebounded, that while Europe is still depressed. For a closer look at what's happening closer to home, of course, here in South Africa, we've got FNB's John Lewis joining us at the desk. Thanks for joining us today, John. 6.4% growth in nominal terms in South Africa, your August house price index. Flat when you're looking at it relative to where inflation is right now. Where is the South African house market right now?
Well, I think generally speaking, it's in a relatively nice space. Everybody's a bit more comfortable in all the market players than they were a few years ago. But yes, as you've pointed out, we're very much inflating in line with CPI inflation, which is 6.3%. Our year-on-year price index going up 6.4%. So certainly no fireworks, but it's solid. There's no speculative activity of note in the market. It's a fairly sane and sober market, and yeah, it's...
The FNB Valuers Market Strength Rating Index sitting at 47.32. This is something that measures supply relative to demand, and it is very important if you're a buyer or a seller of a house right now. I suppose sellers specifically, you want to know how much demand is out there for the house. So what are we seeing in terms of trends?
Yes, if the market strength, this is a survey, it's almost like a business confidence survey of our valuers team, which are quite extensive across the country. If the market strength index gets to a level of 50 or above 50, means that demand is rated as better than supply on aggregate. We're not quite there yet. We're nearing 48, but so some way to go. But they have been pointing to a steady improving demand. They've also been reporting or perceiving a diminishing supply or a more constrained supply, and both those elements are obviously necessary for a better market balance. So they've perceived a steadily improving market balance as time goes by.
Let's look at South Africa's property market relative to a very depressed property market, Spain, right now, because Spain is granting residency to non-European citizens if you invest more than 500,000 euros in a property there. Is that something that should be attractive to a local property investor, someone who does have in excess of, say, 6 million rand in their back pocket?
Well, my guess is that Spain at the moment is at a relative low point. I'm not well versed in the Spanish property market, but they've been through a torrid economic time. And of course, it's a case of buy on the lows and sell on the highs. So yes, why not?
Would this work in South Africa? I mean, is that just something that we can consider right now? I mean, Mauritius has done it, Seychelles is doing it, Spain's doing it now.
Look, I don't think our property market is so depressed that it needs some sort of desperate help like that. But obviously, you know, if you think of the broader economy, you could think, well, would it induce some sort of capital inflows, which, you know, foreign capital inflows are also welcome? Yes, possibly. But I think for you know, economic-wise, it can have a limited effect in terms of attracting capital inflows. But I think what's more important in South Africa is to set up general immigration and residency laws in such a way that we attract skills that are going to contribute to your economy, that are going to be employed in your economy or run businesses in your economy. That's crucial to us, not just, you know, possibly attracting a group of people who may buy property, may or may not live here, or may only live here a few weeks a year. So it can be of benefit, but I think it goes further. You've got to attract people into your, you know, to participate in your economy. It's not just about buying property.
Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate your time. FNB's John Lewis. Well, that of course brings us to the end of our look at South Africa's market. Don't forget, you can email the show and you can also follow us on Twitter. I'm also on Twitter, Samantha_Loring. After the break, we're shifting focus to West Africa. Stay tuned.